This is a public service announcement. Last week, I was on a 5-day trip up in Eureka Springs, riding through the Ozark Mountains. There's a prep video related to this where I'm getting the bike ready, right? Change the oil, go through and torque all the bolts and everything, make sure everything's tight. Something that never crossed my mind, but it does now. Check the nuts that hold on your camshaft pulley. So what happened was, I'm riding along, minding my own business, kind of sort of having a great day. Bike goes to one cylinder. Bad plug, right? So I ride it on one cylinder for about 10 miles to the next town, pull over at the first place where there's shade and a convenience store, stop. Pull the plug wire off of the vertical jug, run on one cylinder. Pull the plug off of the horizontal jug, nothing. Plug it back in, one cylinder. Pull the plug out, clean it, plug it back in, ground it, turn it over, it sparks. There's compression coming out of the hole. Put everything back together, run on one cylinder. I casually walk around to this side of the bike because I'm scratching my head. So this piece is attached, but it's kicked out like so. And I can see it's kicked out a little bit, and I can see the belt, which is odd. And I can also see that it's frayed. And I touch it with my finger and it goes all the way in. So I pop this cover off and it looks like this. Like this. And I think to myself, I can fix that. And I can retime it on the side of the road. I can put it back together. I can ride. I didn't notice this nut missing right away, which is, something. But when I went like this whole thing spun. So what I theorized happened is this nut backed off, and then this was able to move out enough to where the woodruff key fell out. I don't know where it is. I don't know where the nut is. It may be down here, but I don't know. So the riding day was over. I had to call my wife, bring the trailer, come and get me. You can see where the belt's chewed up. So I wasn't going to reuse it anyway. But let's talk about it. So the nut that goes on here is a one-time use only style nut. It's crimped on the edges and it crimps against here so it won't back out. So somebody took it off. It wasn't me. I don't know how many previous owners on the bike. It's a 92. And I'm not blaming anybody. But somebody took it off, put it back on, didn't use Loctite or, pin the nut or anything like that, replace the nut, weld a little thing on here so it won't back out. I'm not trying to frighten anybody, but if you haven't touched it, it may have been touched before. So what I'm trying to say is this is probably something you want to go and get a spanner for and check it. This bike is a 92. It's got over 39,000 miles on it that I know of. That's what's on the speedometer. Actual mileage is unknown. I know from all of the safety wire holes drilled in it, it was put on the track before. But just, I'm going to have to buy a nut. I'm going to have to buy a woodruff key. Hopefully there's no damage to the valves. I don't think so. Why? Because it has compression. So it's sucking air through the hole and pushing air out of the hole, which means it's maybe not leaking past the valves, but I'm gonna have to, you know, everything's gonna have to come off, and we're gonna have to work on it and get it sorted. And while I was looking at it, this oil seal is a little wet. That could be from what just happened, or it could just need to be replaced. So got some work ahead of me on the Ducati. It's down for a little bit. I don't know when it's going to come back, but we'll get it back and everything will be fine. Other than this, the same day I had a little cross the road, blow a curve incident. There's a video about that. Hopefully you can learn something. I kept the bike up. I didn't hurt anybody. I was fine. It was just a little frightening for a moment. But it's something that happens. In this case, it was target fixation. I was solely focused on the truck at the stop sign and not able to look where I wanted to go. So I went right towards the truck. Missed it, almost ran off the road down like a 20-foot cliff, but I was able to get the bike stopped, and then I almost dumped it over. But none of that happened the bad way. It all worked out okay, and I continued riding until this catastrophic freak occurrence. Let's put it that way. Freak occurrence. There'll be a follow-up video to this where we fix the thing and start riding it again. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. Y'all have a good day.